Welcome, Philly, to your favorite sports show, hosted by Jesse Town and Sam Wilson. They're smart, they're sexy, and they're all Philly. So thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy the show. Babes on Broad.
Hello and welcome into week 16 of Babes on Broad pregame live. Our last Eagles pregame show. I'm Sam Wilson with my co-host Jesse Town, and we are the Babes on Broad, brought to you by Believing Green Nation and SB Nation. Like I said, unfortunately today is our last Eagles pregame live show of the 2020 season, because I will be on my way home from Florida next week. My fiance surprised me with a Christmas gift to go to Florida for the new year. So that's exciting. But I will not be with you guys next Sunday. But remember, we did start our Sixers pregame live. So we will still be with you guys once a week, every week for a Sixers game of the week. You guys usually will vote for that. So keep a lookout for that on our Twitter. We should have a post out tonight. See which game you guys want for this week.
Can you imagine you trying to do this? Can you imagine you doing that?
We always end up traveling during big games. Like during the double doink, we were on a train trip or on the train coming back from New York City. And it was crazy because it was cutting out and we were like, and then we were like, we're up. And then they missed the double doink. It was the craziest thing of my life. We were jumping from bar to bar before we had to get on the plane or on the train. It was crazy. But
that's so funny because when the Eagles played the Miami Dolphins last year and had that epic collapse, we were on a plane and I landed and I was like, let's check to see how much the Eagles are winning by. And then I was like, this can't be right.
Did not end up how we wanted that one. Yeah. But
brutal.
So we do have the Sixers pregame live, so you guys will still be able to hang out with us for that. And then also we always have our podcast coming out, 1 or 2 every week. So make sure you're still listening to them. Still contact us on social media. We'll still be around.
And hey, if the Eagles make the playoffs, we'll have another one to do the week after.
Yeah. So speaking of that, we'll get into the Philadelphia Eagles, the 4-9-1 Philadelphia Eagles against the 5-9 Dallas Cowboys. So the Eagles are currently in last, technically, of the NFC East, and then the Cowboys are tied for second. The whole way that's going to work out, the Eagles do still have a chance at the playoffs if Washington loses today, who were flexed at the 4:00 spot as well. So they'll be playing simultaneously as this game. So that'll be interesting. Definitely want to go back and forth between that. So the Eagles need to win this week and next week against Washington if they want to keep their hopes alive. And then Dallas will be eliminated today if they do not win. So everybody's playing for something right now in the NFC East. So that'll be fun.
Garbage division.
Yeah, for our division.
Garbage. Absolute garbage division. I can't even believe it. And everyone's playing for something, but they're all so bad.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it really, I mean, who's going to be excited? Like, yeah, round 1 of the playoffs for the NFC East. It's going to be a downer. It's not going to go much farther than that. But, I mean, whatever. At least you get the title. So, going along with that, before we get into the matchup between the Eagles and Dallas, which it's Dallas week, and I feel like we haven't even gotten
Dallas
that.
Sucks. I don't have my Dallas Sucks t-shirt on today, but my mom did get me this mask for Christmas, which, I mean, I'm sitting inside, so I don't really need it. But it does say Dallas Sucks, so I'm just going to rock this forever and always.
I love it.
It's the move.
It's so you, too. It's perfect.
I know, right? It's really on brand.
It kind of got lost this week because of all the holidays and all that.
Right?
But hopefully we get the vibes going today in this pregame show, because Dallas sucks. I mean, the Eagles have a lot to play for. It's Jalen Hurts' first game against Dallas. He's returning to Texas, his home state. So there's a lot of fun. But so what are you drinking today for this fun going on.
I'm back to the Yards. I'm a big Yards fan, so we're
You
right
are a
back
Yards
to
fan.
I am a Yards fan. I really like their beer actually a lot. And we had it for our one drink that we made. It was like the half Yards and the half cider, and then put the blueberry syrup in, and that stuff is just so delicious. But I'm a big Yards fan. I love their beer. So I'm back on the Yards today. What about you?
I'm going with my favorite beer, Perpetual Trogs. I have it in my glass though, but just so you guys could see what it is. Trogs is my favorite, so we're just sticking with that. What about food?
So my mom for Christmas every year makes a really amazing manicotti, and we have a tray of that with some still left over. So that is what we will be eating tonight. Pumped. They gotta love the Christmas in an Italian household. You can't beat it.
It's so funny. I'm not even Italian. My family does homemade pasta and meatballs.
Amazing.
And
amazing.
We're not even Italian, but that's what we do for.
You truthfully, you can't beat it. You absolutely cannot beat it.
It's the best. I don't even know what we're eating today. We made breakfast, so I'm not even hungry. I haven't even thought about it. We'll get there later.
Yeah. Sounds delicious.
But there's a lot of injury news between these two teams. Both defenses have huge key pieces missing today, which hopefully helps us out in the end. But so the big news of the week for Philadelphia, Josh Sweat and is it Kayvon or Kevin Seymour?
Kayvon.
Okay. So Kayvon Seymour both placed on the IR. Deshaun Jackson is back today, which is huge just because of the Dallas. I like the nostalgia there. You know what I mean? Maybe he'll get something going too.
But I feel like
taking snaps from other people, kind of.
But everybody who wants to scream and yell about like what the Eagles are going to do at the quarterback position going forward, I feel like you just have to look at exactly this right here. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. We're going to have the same conversation again in 3 years because already it took 3 games for them to already hurt the weaponry for Jalen Hurts. Why? Because here's what's going to happen. They're going to take those snaps away from like Quez Watkins, right? Who had a great game last week, who played really, really well. There's no reason why you shouldn't continue to work those young guys when they have the chance.
No, 100%.
Deshaun hasn't played in weeks, and I understand that he got hurt. I get that. But Deshaun's also only played about 10% of the potential offensive snaps since Howie Roseman gave him a 3-year, $27 million extension with 21 of that guaranteed.
Yeah, he's played, 6 games out of the 2 years?
Right. So what needs to happen is they need to continue playing these young guys and see what they have and see what they can utilize going forward. They are already doing a disservice to Jalen Hurts in a very crucial moment. I love Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson is one of my all-time favorite Eagles and will forever be one of my favorite Eagles just because I love Deshaun. But Jalen Hurts was 9 years old when Deshaun was drafted in 2008.
Wow.
It
is a great point as well, just because not only has he been hurt the whole time, but when he has been on the field, he has been that productive. I mean, the first game of the year this year, we were like, Deshaun's back. And he got, targeted 3 times total?
Right.
If that.
And so we thought it would be totally different.
And he hasn't even had that connection or to build with Jalen Hurts. And you have a great point. He's not going to be going much further with Jalen Hurts. Why not take this time to just keep the connection building with Jalen and the younger guys?
Right. And I mean,
even though Jalen's not for sure the person.
Sure, but either way, wouldn't you want to see why after what we saw last week from some of these young guys, even though they lost to the Cardinals, we saw some really good things from guys like Quez Watkins. Why would you want to work backwards? But this is what the Eagles do. They make horrible decisions, and they've got people who aren't football people making those decisions. Like Jeffrey Lurie has trusted some of the worst people imaginable with his money.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be doing what they're doing right now. Again, love Deshaun. Would love this. Would love to be wrong. But also going forward.
It's not even like you're wrong. Like you're thinking of it as the best aspect going forward. It's not saying
logically it doesn't make sense.
No, you're 100% right.
And there's no reason that we can figure that out, but the guy that's paid to figure it out can't.
100%.
Continuing with the injuries.
Yeah, there's still a list going on.
That was only the beginning. Yeah. Sorry. We got thrown off.
More news this week. Defensive tackle T.Y. McGill and tight end Caleb Wilson were signed to the active roster. And then Jordan Howard and Joe Ostman activated from the practice squad. I don't know if the official thing has come out yet. So I don't know if they've given an official ruling on Fletcher, but he was questionable for the game today before the show started due to a neck injury that he's been battling all week. And then officially out.
He's been dealing with that for a while, I feel like.
Yeah. And then officially out for today, Derek Barnett did not even travel with a calf injury, linebacker Duke Riley, and then Richard Rogers with an ankle injury. So the Eagles have a lot of that on their defense this week. And then the Cowboys also have a lot of injuries on their defense. The Cowboys have linebacker Leighton Vander Esch is out again. This time, apparently, it's an ankle, so at least it's not like his back neck issues that he was having. Safety Xavier Woods is out with ribs. Cornerback Rashard Robinson, ankle. And then their starting D tackle, Antoine Woods, was placed on IR earlier this week, too. And then, again, with Fletcher, I don't know what the official report is.
He's playing.
Fletcher is? Okay, what about Zeke Elliott? He was questionable with his calf. He missed last week. Okay.
He's playing.
So there's a lot of things going into this game today. I don't know how I feel about it. And it's going to be a fun one to watch. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, and it's going to be a fun one to watch.
Hurts my pride because it shouldn't be. But
yeah, I mean, like I hope they crush the Cowboys, and I just hope they end them all. But I mean, the injuries, it's already starting, right? Like they were solid for a couple weeks with injuries. They weren't having any issues. And, here we go again already. Some of these guys are starting to fall off, and you hope that doesn't do damage to what the Eagles can do and what they can kind of build up with Jalen Hurts. And looking at it, so JJ Arcega-Whiteside is inactive as well as John Hightower. Now, I don't remember if John Hightower got hurt at all or if he's another healthy scratch. I like that Quez Watkins is still playing, but again, you saw what happened with Travis Fulgham's snaps when Alshon Jeffrey came back.
Yeah.
And Alshon Jeffrey has played better, but you'd rather see a young guy in that spot. I mean, Alshon's
he's not a game changer.
He can't jump. He's just he's aged. He's in a sports sense, he's gotten old. And I don't want to say that because like I don't mean that
no
like
offense.
no 32, that's old. Like no, but in football terms, like Deshaun, Alshon, like they're just getting older now. And I just feel like at the end of the season, like for me, I know there's some people that are really want them to lose and get a good draft pick. My opinion, I never want to see the Eagles lose. I'm never going to root for the Eagles to lose. And I always want them to beat Dallas. You never want to see them lose to Dallas. I also don't trust that Howie Roseman's going to make the right decision with that pick anyway, no matter where it is.
That's what I think is the most frustrating about it, because I understand not wanting the Eagles to lose for like the fandom of it. But logically, if we're speaking in logical terms and had somebody that we trusted drafting, it would be the smart choice. I mean, the Sixers did it, and even though it took longer for them to work out, it's just logical. Like, what do we have to play for? One playoff game, and then it ruins everything for next season as well. But there is a huge point. I mean, what is Howie going to do if he does have a number 6 overall pick or whatever top pick he gets? Like, choose a guy from TCU, like Matt Pryor in the first round. Like, it's just, you can't trust them.
This is accurate. We'd pick the same player at 10 that he'd take
100%.
at 20. Or and that player,
20.
Right. And that player should be going in the 3rd round anyway. I mean,
exactly.
We'd love to sit here and think, all right, if that happens, they're going to be able to take Jamar Chase and get another really great weapon for whoever they decide to make their starting quarterback going forward. But then they're gonna take something that they don't actually need. And it's just what they do. Like, they didn't need Jalen Hurts. They didn't need a quarterback. And if they wanted a quarterback, they could have taken one later. They could have taken Jalen Hurts in the 3rd round. They could have traded into the 2nd round later to take Jalen Hurts, but they needed something else at that second round pick at number 53. Yeah. And they just haven't done that. So, I mean, I think that no matter what, I would rather see the Eagles win. I truthfully don't think Washington is going to lose. So I don't think that they're going to end up getting that playoff game. I don't think that everyone else, like, you never want to rely on other people to do your job for you. All they had to do was win their games and they'd be fine. But, you know, it's just unfortunate that there's more injuries and now there's players that shouldn't necessarily be playing as many snaps as they're going to be playing. I just truthfully think that hurts. All of that hurts Jalen.
Oh, 100%.
I just think we're already seeing everything that we've talked about Carson Wentz and the team kind of working against him and the injuries with other positions playing a part in it. I just think we're starting to see all of that just in the third game with Jalen Hurts. And I think it's really unfortunate because this is what the Eagles do. And no matter what, going forward, this is what we're going to see regardless.
100% unfortunate. But going along with that, I mean, we already said Jalen Hurts is going to be a key thing to watch today in his first game against the Cowboys. He returns to his home state. Another key matchup to watch will be Zeke Elliott versus the Eagles' hurt defensive line because he is playing. So that'll be interesting. And then Dallas's wide receivers core against the Eagles secondary. I mean, they do get Darius Slay back today, which is good. Mm-hmm. But Darius hasn't been that strong this year. And what's he going to do? Cover Cooper and CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup all at the same time? Like, there's just simply not enough on that secondary that makes me feel comfortable,
Oh yeah. And there's a comment here on Instagram that's just like, you know, Jalen's just being thrown into the fire. And that's absolutely true. And honestly, I felt that way when they first made him the starter. I just thought this could have been really unfortunate for him just being thrown into the fire like this. And like, really just, it was honestly a death march. Like it was really just setting him up for failure. And I'm so happy that he has overcome some of that and he's played well because I do want that for Jalen Hurts, but I just think there's so many other issues. And, you know, the secondary is one of them. Like, you know, they should have taken Jeremy Chin at 53. Everyone but Howie wanted Jeremy Chin at 53. You've seen what he's done. He's probably going to be the defensive rookie of the year. Why is he not here? And guess what? You know who the offensive rookie of the year is going to be? The guy who just broke Randy Moss's rookie record, Justin Jefferson. So the fact that the Eagles could have had both of those players
so sick.
And don't,
it makes me so sick,
and still have huge issues at those positions, that is a fireable offense in my opinion. And unfortunately,
it's only top
down.
Yeah. So much fun. We're having so much fun this season.
God, this is such a fun
That's
time.
The one positive. It is going to be so much more fun to do our Sixers pregame live shows this season.
We already had a lot of fun the other night. And you know what? Honestly, at the end of the show, we're not going to do trivia. We're going to do Eagles prop bets, and then we're going to do some Sixers prop bets because they play tonight as well.
I love it.
And they're not breaking my heart.
Anyway, love it.
Anyway, I agree. So with that, what are your keys to the game then for the Eagles, especially on offense, for them to be able to beat Dallas? And obviously let's do defense first because we were just talking about the Eagles defense. What are with the injuries on the line, with the injuries in the secondary, non-existent linebackers, what are your keys to the game for the Eagles defense to be able to beat Dallas this week?
Yeah, so I think this is gonna be where the game relies on is their defense because the injuries have me so nervous against. I mean, even though it's Andy Dalton, that's a dynamic wide receiver. Yeah, like, and then they have Zeke Elliott as their rushing. So it concerns me so much with the injuries. I think that what it's really gonna boil down to is our defense stepping up big in the fact that we do get Slay back and he's going to have his best game of the season. And then we also just have to hope literally is all I can say, that our D-line can contain Zeke as well as they can while still trying to get pressure on Andy Dalton. I think that's what it's all going to come down to, and really their only chance of containing the weapons on offense because our secondary is that concerning right now, and our linebackers, you already said, there's nobody. So I think it's really going to come down to what we still have left on this defensive line doing.
Yeah, I just think I totally agree with you. The defense is what kept them in the game last matchup with Dallas. I think that was one of the games where people really first started screaming for the Eagles to put Jalen Hurts in and bench Carson Wentz. He played an abysmal game against the Dallas Cowboys, and you're absolutely right. The defense is what kept them in that. Now the defense is much more hurt now than they were when they played Dallas the first time.
And they played Ben DiNucci the first time.
That too. Who even is that guy? Does he even still reside in Dallas, Texas? Like, who even knows? Yeah. So I think that, guys that played really good games are not going to be there. And, everything was able to come together in a way for, a rookie quarterback out of JMU was not going to be able to beat some of these guys. Now, the Eagles defense still, there were times where we were like, why are they playing down to this opponent when they could have taken advantage of it a little bit further? Now, the Eagles had not been doing well this season enforcing turnovers. Last week, they did a really good job. If they can keep that up and they can force the Cowboys to turn the ball over a few times, I think that they have a really good chance of winning this game. I think regardless, they have a good chance of winning this game.
Yeah,
but you're right. The defense is going to be a crucial part of that. We've talked about every week. Can they win the game in all three phases? Because they haven't been successful when one phase had to win the game for you. There were a couple here and there, against the Cowboys last time is one of them, but that was that one of the games where they essentially benched Jake Elliott and kicked no extra points? Didn't they do that in that game? Was that one of them?
Remember. You're the one that remembers every single play of it.
I know. I think that was one of them, but I don't remember. But you're right. Defense is going to be a huge part of this game. Now, the offense has been playing better for the Cowboys lately.
They've scored like 71 points in the last two games.
Right. And, on the opposite side, we'll kind of move into, the Eagles offense needing to step up as well. But their defense has been really bad as well. It's one of the worst defenses in their history in the NFL. But again, over the last couple weeks, they've been forcing turnovers. They've been getting to the quarterback and they've been forcing turnovers, which is going to be something that, while Jalen hasn't thrown any interceptions, he's had a couple fumbles. And everyone wants to scream about Carson Wentz's fumbles. Well, we have to address the problem with Jalen Hurts too. He is not, his fumble, numbers are comparable to if they continue this way, it'll be the exact same issue.
And the only difference,
they get better care of the football.
Yeah. And the difference between the two is Carson's is because he tries to play hero ball. And then Hurts is more just lackadaisical. It's like because he's down or they're up or something. You know what I mean? He doesn't think about it, which is also a rookie thing. So at least there's an upside there that you could say. Yeah. But I agree with you.
But, because the Cowboys are starting, their team has picked it up in these last couple weeks and they have been playing well. So this is not the, down in the dumps, absolutely garbage Ben DiNucci as your starting quarterback team that they saw back in November. It's not the same team. So they need to be prepared for a little bit better and a little bit more competition. I mean, this is a playoff game for the Eagles at this point. If they want any hope at all, and I think, there was a good point in here. Alex Smith isn't playing today. Dwayne Haskins is playing because they have no other choice. He is.
I don't even understand
something else.
Yeah.
But I just don't think Ron Rivera loses that game. That's kind of more what I think. I mean, playing these
coaching.
The Panthers are not a very good football team. I really just think that that's one of those things where you kind of rally around your guy to be able to beat his former team. So I don't think that the Washington football team is going to lose. It's a possibility. I don't think they are, but the Eagles need to control what they can control. And, this game is essentially a playoff game for them. And, historically the Cowboys don't do well in December. So what do you think is the key to the game for the Eagles offense to be able to win today?
Yeah. So I expect this offense to play well today. I mean, partly because the defense on the Dallas side, they're injured just as much as we are. But like you also said, They average 30.8 points per game given up this season, which is worse than the franchise history for them so far. They also rank last in rushing yards allowed and 29th in third down defense. So because of all that garbage that we're about to face, and I truly think Jalen Hurts is going to go off today because it's his first game as a starting NFL quarterback back in Texas. They are allowed to have fans there. His family and friends are allowed there.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's going to play huge into this. So with all that being said, I think Jalen's going to have a fantastic game today. But I am also hoping that we see Doug call that creative game plan that features heavy on the run because they have such a poor run defense in Dallas. And then we see Hurts and Sanders have a great game and then also effectively spread the ball around because the rest of the defense isn't as good, any better. You know what I mean? So Jalen's going to do his job. I want Doug to have that creative game plan. Yeah, I want that creative game plan because I think this team's very beatable because of how I truly believe if it's a great scheme, our offense is going to outperform Dallas's offense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I think our defense will be able to hold up better. So I think it is going to be a high scoring back-to-back game. But I think our offense is going to come out hopefully and prevail.
And I think this is a good point. I mean, Doug has not called a good game yet this year. And I think that we've talked about it before. Poor play calling and poor game plan design can be overshadowed and can be masked by good quarterback play. Carson Wentz was not doing that. Jalen Hurts has bailed them out a few different times.
And that's why Doug struggles with quarterbacks that are besides Nick Foles, but quarterbacks that are like Carson in the sense that he gets bailed out so much by Jalen Hurts because he has that ability to use his legs.
Yep.
Like we can't tell when we're sitting here when Jalen Hurts runs 18 yards for the first down that it's going to be him that made the decision or Doug that called it. Like we can't tell that. So we don't know that. It just looks like it's Doug doing great. You don't truly know. You know what I mean? So it's like there's so much that goes into it. And you're right. Hurts is being able to bail him out now.
Yeah. And I really appreciate that because it makes the Eagles look like less of a poop show than they actually are. But what is your final score prediction? So you said you think it's going to be a high scoring close game. What is your final score prediction?
So I think our offense is going to, like I said, put up a good amount of points, but I'm nervous about our defense because of the injuries and how great that wide receiving core and Zeke Elliott are on the Dallas side. So I think it's going to be back and forth and high scoring. Like I said, 34-33 Eagles.
You think the Eagles finally break that 30 threshold? Will they break it this season?
I don't know. If they don't put it up against the 30.8 points per game Dallas defense.
They didn't last time. And it was higher. The average points per game that Dallas was allowing was higher earlier in the season.
Jeez.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I think you're right. I think it's back and forth. I think it's close. I think it's gonna have us on the edge of our seats the whole time, unfortunately. I would love for them to kind of put it away early and be able to move on, but I just don't think that this team has that in them at all. And I think especially with their injuries and some of the new injuries added on this week, it's just not going to happen for them. But I do still think they win the game. I do think the Eagles do enough, and I do think Jalen Hurts is able to get them this win. I think exactly what you said plays a part in it. Having some fans there, kind of feeling that energy a little bit, knowing his friends and family are there, I think that's going to be awesome for him. I hope he absolutely balls out for them. And I think the Eagles win 29-25. Let's see. What do we got? Some other scores in here. 37-31 Dallas. Boo.
I think it's true Eagles fashion. Washington wins their game. The Eagles are playing for literally nothing but to hurt their draft spot. And I think it's true Eagles fashion for them to win when they have nothing to play for and it just hurts them in the long run.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 22-17 Birds. They couldn't score against Dallas last time. That is true. 33-16 Eagles. I like it. Eagles win 31-13. That is a score. I'll take it. Sign me up.
What is the theory behind that? Andy Dalton just overthrows everybody.
Andy Dalton just it really embodies his name of Average Andy. He really just kind of takes over. I don't know.
I feel like average Andy just needs to put the ball up in the air for CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper. And I don't feel like you have to be much more than average for them.
He's done it a couple times, and they've had some drops. They've had some drops.
And I will say too, I saw that Andy Dalton's played like 9 games so far this season compared to Dak's 5 that he played before he got hurt, or like 4.5, whatever. And Dak still has 300 more passing yards than Andy Dalton, which I thought was very interesting.
Dak was throwing for like 400 yards a game. Dak was playing out of his mind. He was. 33-27 Birds, 29-23 Eagles we've got on the Instagram. Jordan Mailata, TD in the red zone. Why the hell not? Anything goes. Throw the rule book out the window. What the heck?
Let's do it.
Who cares at this point? 33-31, go Birds. Oh, that is going to kill me. If this is what the score ends up being, this will kill me by the end of this afternoon. And the only thing that was
the same as mine, yeah.
I just 33-20 Eagles. Another score I will take was Andy Dalton, the first Ginger G. No.
Maybe to some people, I don't know.
Maybe to some people, but those people have pretty low standards.
Cleveland, yes.
No, they're in Cincinnati. They're all the same. I mean, they're all equally as garbage. But how about the Browns having to play literally all of their practice squad wide receivers because all of their receivers had to go on the COVID list? They were practicing apparently in like a parking garage this morning to try to get everything ready to go, like freezing cold in.
At least they're not playing for something. They're already out of the playoff hunch.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. I saw somebody say it.
How? They won 10 games.
Yeah, I know. They have 10 wins, and it's still not good enough to win their division because then they were laughing at NFC East how we will have like 6 wins and win a division. 7, I guess, if Washington wins today.
Huh. I thought they could still.
Maybe it's like a weird. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe the person I saw didn't factor in the craziness of what would take to the win. I don't know.
Here's the thing.
I don't remember who even said it.
I got Browns playoff rooting guide for week 16. Let's see. If root for the Raiders on Saturday night, no, they lost. I guess the Colts need to beat the Steelers. Always root against the Ravens. I mean,
and the Ravens are going to win.
Yeah. Okay. So I think there's a lot of things.
I think the Steelers were doing bad.
The Browns are the 6th seed right now for the wild card.
Okay, so they could get the wild card, not win their division. So
they definitely can't win the division, but I think they can still get into the playoffs because they have 10 wins, and the Ravens are not playing well.
Yeah, and the Colts are beating. Well, the Ravens are up. They were up like 20-3 on the Giants because they're playing the Giants.
The Browns apparently were getting beat badly earlier because they have none of their players. They have none of their weapons. And so it's funny because my friend Christina, she asked me, she's in the championship for her fantasy football league this week, and her quarterback was Derek Carr, and he got hurt, and she didn't know if he was going to play or not. So she was like, who do I pick up? I can either pick up Jalen Hurts or Baker Mayfield. And she was like, the Browns are playing the Jets. And I was like, dude, the Jets just beat the Rams. They're coming off a high. Don't do that. I told her to pick up Jalen Hurts. I hope she listened to me because the Browns right now.
I do too, because he would be passing. Yeah, nobody.
And the Ravens are killing the Giants right now. So who knows what's going to happen, but the Browns are not playing well. All right. Prop bets? Should we get into some prop bets out here, people?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So who has more passing yards today? Jalen Hurts or Andy Dalton? Jalen Hurts. Passing? I'm still going Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen has a big game today.
I think he does too, but I feel it more on the run game. Andy Dalton has no other option really besides passing.
I mean, Andy. All right, so
I'm going to say Andy. Red Rifle.
This is funny. I've never seen.
I'm going to say Andy.
You're going to say Andy. All right, Andy on passing. I've got somebody with me. Paul's with me here. Jalen Hurts. Love it. Okay, we've got a Jalen Hurts up here. We got another Andy Dalton up here on our Instagram as well. All right. So
that's that one. That's going to be a close.
Yeah, that's a back and forth. We got a pretty even prediction here. Over under 100 rushing yards for the Eagles as a whole.
Oh, over.
I think over.
We're playing like, what did I say? The worst run defense in the league?
Yes, they are the worst.
Yeah.
Over.
And
how many do you think Jalen Hurts has by himself? 80-ish?
I'm going to say, what did he have his first game? 106? It'll be a little less than that. I'll say 96.
96? I'm going to go like 80 and 80.
Okay.
Like 80 for him, 80 for Miles, and I think that's kind of what they do.
I'm going to have
We have overs flooding like everywhere.
I'm
Over,
gonna have
over.
96 for Jalen, and I'll have 112 for Miles. Somebody write it down because I'll forget what I said.
Over 200. We're gonna run it down their throat. God, I hope so.
Mine has over 200.
Over 88 for Jalen Hurts. Over 200 total.
I have over 200.
I would love it. When was the last?
Yeah, 208 is my total.
I would love for over 200. That makes my heart happy.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Eagles finish the day with more passing yards or more rushing yards?
Rushing.
Yep.
That was my running. I had stuff in my mouth. Beer in my mouth.
I got it. Yep. For Hurts, yes. Okay, great. Passing. More passing yards than rushing yards today. Interesting. I would Well, see, if I said Jalen Hurts is going to have more passing yards than Andy Dalton, I would have to say that they would have more passing yards than rushing yards, right? 115 yards for Miles Sanders. Wait, what? What was my question? Did the Eagles finish the day with more passing or rushing yards? Yeah, as a team. I couldn't remember what my question was.
Yeah, so I mean, you could have Hurts having more passing yards and then Sanders having a great rushing game, and it outweighs.
Yeah, I really do think Jalen Hurts goes off. Like, I think Jalen Hurts
I think he's going to go off too.
Goes off.
I agree.
I think it'd be really exciting to see against the Cowboys. That would make my heart happy. More passing, about the same. 200 and 200. I mean, why the hell not, honestly? 350 passing, 325 rushing. Oh, my Lanta.
I don't even know. When's the last time the Eagles had over 300 yards rushing in a game? That's a good trivia question. I don't know it.
I don't know it either. If someone can find out that, I'll Venmo you $1. That's my go-to. I Venmo people $1. All right. Over under 2 turnovers for the Eagles offense today.
I'm going to push that.
How many did they have last week?
I don't know how many they had last week.
1?
I really have no guess. It's not even coming to my head.
I wouldn't hate it.
That'd be sweet.
Just 1. Okay. 1.
Yeah, I can see 1, but I'm still going to push it just in case.
Under. We've got an under up here.
They get brutal, man.
They do. I'm going to say under. I'm going to speak that into existence.
I'll push it. You do under.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to speak that into existence because I need them to take care of the football. I think that's gonna be the biggest way that they win this game is taking care of the football. I think that whoever wins the turnover battle is going to be able to win this game because, like I said, like the Cowboys have better weapons. I mean, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
But the Eagles could do a better job of controlling the game and their defense is better. So if the Eagles can run the ball, control the time of possession a little bit more and take care of the football, I really think that's how they win this game. So not turning the ball over is a very crucial component of that.
Very crucial, along with Doug.
Over under 2 turnovers for the Eagles defense. What do you think there?
I'll push it. I'm going to say for 2 for them too. I want it to be over though, because that'll help us tremendously.
I agree. I think around 2. I think pushing that one is probably the best. We have better weapons. We have the savior himself, Jalen Hurts. Okay, if you think the Eagles have better offensive weapons than the Dallas Cowboys, I would love some of what you're smoking. Because that's just not true.
No.
I still think the Eagles are better as a team, and obviously they can't use their weapons well, but realistically, the weapons are better.
And the only reason they're not talked about more is because they don't have Dak Prescott. We already talked about how well Dak did when he wasn't injured. And then they got Andy Dalton and Ben DiNucci. So that's why they're not popping off.
Brutal. All right, we got another one up here that's going to push that one over. They get 3 interceptions. I'm still waiting for Darius Slay's first interception as an Eagle.
Yeah. That'd be a great time to do it.
Now would be smoking that Eagles green. That's funny. 2 is about right. I think 2, and I'm gonna need one of them to be from Darius Slay. I'm just gonna need it. We can't go a whole season without Darius. Darius Slay has finished in the top of each category that you can fit that you have as a corner, and he's just nowhere near any of that right now. And granted, he had a stretch where he played some of the best in the league, and he just unfortunately got beat in those. I also think that and he's been a little hurt and a little banged up. Comeback game for big play Slay today. I agree. I'm going to need at least one interception from Darius Slay.
We need a great game from Slay today. Like, need it.
And I think we can get it. Who's the leading fantasy points getter for the Eagles today?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. I totally agree with Jalen Hurts. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a big
That's what I'm saying.
Jalen Hurts.
He's going to have a big game.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I want to see him play really well. I do. All right. Who is the star of the game on offense today? Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Jalen. Yep. Jalen Hurts. What? I mean, sure. I won't be upset, but sheesh. Miles?
Maybe they just bring back Djax for like kick return, punt return.
That's how he broke his ankle. Listen to me.
Doesn't mean anything.
No, if we've gone through this whole thing, oh my God. If
it was a joke, Jess, because you want Reagor back there and he's never back there and they just keep putting.
Greg Ward's back there returning punts, and then they put Jalen Reagor back. They put Deshaun Jackson back there once, and he breaks an ankle. And then they put Jalen Reagor back there once, and he returns it for a touchdown for the first time since 2015. And they go, no more for you. You're done. We trust Greg Ward to make better decisions back there. Is there a better decision than running it back for a touchdown? Greg Ward makes horrible decisions back there. Horrible. But yeah, and if they come out here and put Deshaun Jackson back there, I will lose my damn mind. I will lose it. I will be so angry. But you know what? I expect
nostalgia, Jeff. That's what they care about.
I expect nothing less. Nothing. Goodness gracious. One of the Jalens. Sure, cover all your bases.
Yeah. You
who's the star of the game on defense?
Darius Slay.
Wow, this is the first week you didn't say Fletcher Cox. I'm shocked.
Well, just because I'm giving Fletch a little leeway.
A little break.
Just do enough to hold him off, Fletch. Take care of yourself, buddy.
How many times does Doug Peterson go for 2 and nearly cause me an aneurysm? At least twice.
Yeah.
At least twice.
I did factor that in when I was doing the math on what I think they're going to score. Did factor in that.
Another one of the Jalens. Sure. My man BG. Yep. Let's see. Fletcher Cox. So we got something up here that says Fletch is questionable. Fletcher Cox is playing today. The official reports have come out. Fletcher Cox is playing today. Alex Singleton.
There we go.
Jesus. This is. I don't even know what to say to it. I needed everyone else to see it. I don't have anything to say at all. Start of the game on defense today. I'm going to agree with you. I think it has to be Darius Slay.
Yeah.
I think that's getting some turnovers there, some pass breakups here. Like, I think he needs to bounce back from what his last couple. And we do need solid linebacker play today. I don't disagree with you at all. All right. Let's get some Sixers prop bets in here before we sign off for today. All right, so the Sixers have started 2-0, in case you live under a rock. Have started 2-0, have looked really good in a few different areas, especially coming out of timeouts and calling running plays to actually score points instead of turning the basketball over. That's huge. Winning close games in the final minutes. And then last night, putting a team away early, letting them creep back in a little bit, but ultimately finishing it out the way they needed to, getting the starters a little bit of rest towards the end of the game in the first half of a back-to-back. Ben Simmons was electric last night on the defensive end of the floor, was absolutely glued to RJ Barrett, and he couldn't do anything at all. And Dwight Howard might be the best free agency signing the Sixers have had in the last 15 years. And Steph Curry and Joel Embiid, the two-man game that they are starting to develop could be really, really scary. So, over-under 5 threes for Seth Curry tonight.
What do you have last night? I need to pull it up.
I don't remember. I think he had 3. I'm going to go over because they're
You've been calling for it.
The comfort level is starting. You see it. You see the comfort, like You see them starting to get a little bit more comfortable with each other, understanding, feeling where each other is going to be on the floor. We've got, oh boy. We need the beard. No, we do not. He had a good game last night, but you know what he did? He made the worst decision possible in overtime that caused them to lose that game. And he does not play a lick of defense. And when one of his teammates does something wrong, he's freaking out at them on the sideline. No, thank you. Under, he will have 4. Under 3. We've got a push over. Cavs
I was going to say,
over.
I'll push it. I'll have faith in him.
Yeah.
I'll give him it.
I think he could have some fun tonight. Over under 10 points for Tyrese Maxey tonight. So they're kind of using Matisse Thybulle and Tyrese Maxey interchangeably right now to kind of see what they have from both. Tyrese has played better on the offensive end than Matisse has, but he only had, I think he had 6 points in their opener.
I have it up.
He had 6,
Oh, yeah.
6 in their opener. I don't remember how many he had last night, though. Yeah. So over under 10 off the bench for Tyrese Maxey. We've got an under big night for Tobias Harris, though.
Ooh. I'm going to say under, but I'll say he'll get close, like 8.
8? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
he'll have his best game yet. We'll say that.
I think under as well. Over under 30 for Joel Embiid tonight.
Over.
I'm with you. Over because he will get increased time. Maxey gets 7. We got another under. Over under for Joel, I think. For over under 30 for Joel, I think over. Sixers will roll tonight. Hey, if they... You know, I was going to try to avoid this. Over. I will always take the over on this. I will always take the over on times Furkan Korkmaz steps out of bounds. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Under 23, he won't need the 30. All right. Under 30, it'll be a short night. 28 for Joel. Okay. See, I'm okay with it. Over 30 if he plays like 25 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say that's good factoring in for them if he doesn't play the whole game.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't need to play the whole game. Star of the game for the Sixers on defense, I'm going to go with Ben Simmons. Electric. Oh, we got a triple-double column for Ben, too. I like it. I like it.
I was going to go with Ben, but I don't want to choose the same person as you, so I'll just go Joel then. It's one or the other.
They've been playing really well.
That's what I'm saying.
Together, this is the most comfortable I've ever seen the two of them look with each other.
And I love that.
They look like they belong. Saying that. It's magical.
Over under 2 weeks until we start getting national media say that Ben and Joel don't like each other.
Under.
Yeah.
Under.
Right. Jeez.
Clearly there's not enough going on with James Harden and strip clubs and all of that. They have to manufacture something else out of the Sixers just for fun. Ben Simmons is so good defensively, but tired narrative of shooting will continue. Yes. Yes. And if you want to continue that narrative, just let me know that you don't watch the Sixers and we will move on from there. After the Sixers' first loss, I think that's a good one. Whenever they lose.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. That's good.
That's a good point. That's when it'll start.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's going to wrap. Oh, Ben pops a 3 tonight just for fun. Again, if Jordan Mailata's scoring in the red zone, anything goes. Why not? Why the heck not? Let's finish out 2020 throwing the rule book out. All right. Well, we are coming to a close of our final Eagles pregame live. This is Dion's fault.
Next year is going to be so much better.
God, I hope next year will be better. And hey, here's hoping we're talking to you in 2 weeks for a playoff game. Not sure if we will be, but if we're not, thank you for tuning in all season long for our pregame shows. We've had so much fun talking, trying to stay positive, laughing with you guys and seeing some of your comments and, talking to you every week. It's been what's kept me going through this brutal Eagles season. Otherwise, I don't know if I would have made it, to be completely honest. But make sure you keep looking out for our Twitter polls each week to figure out which Sixers game we're going to do our pregame show for. We'll do it every week. We'll still do our prop bets. We'll still do our trivia. We'll still do all the fun stuff. We'll be live everywhere you can find us: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. everywhere. Make sure you're still listening to our episodes as well. Those will continue throughout the whole offseason about the Eagles as well. Assuming that the offseason is a little bit more normal this year and hoping that all goes as planned. So once again, thank you so much for listening to us every week. Go Birds. Dallas sucks. Make sure to check out our episodes coming out this week, as we said. But until then, Dallas sucks. Go Birds. Go Sixers.